verse are you going to do? I said, I'm sure every husband here has uttered this at some point. I don't know. So a few weeks go by, and I'm doing a good deed. I'm cleaning out my desk at the office, and that makes my wife happy. And I came across this. For any of you who know what it is, it's from Brother DeSantis, Peculiar Illusions. So I put that aside. I had it on my desk. Next day, my devotion was on this particular verse, 1 Peter 2:9, where he talks about we are a peculiar people. Yeah. I'm like, okay, Amen. Lord, well, I think I know what my call to worship is going to be on. Amen. I could give that to Laura, and that made her happy again. So anyway, hopefully you're all there. You know, in the Bible, they use the word peculiar on 7 different occasions. But I'm going to borrow a line from a movie that I love. Most of you will know it's from Inigo Montoya. He says, I don't think that word means what you think it does. So when we think of the word peculiar today in our world, we think of it as strange, bizarre, weird. But in the Bible, for the 7 times that it used it, it means a treasured possession. Amen. The word peculiar comes from the Latin word peculium, which means private property. Now, when the King James Bible was written back in 1611, they used it to describe private property. But it wasn't just any private property, folks. This was God's private property Amen. That they were talking about.
That's good.
And the English-speaking people of that day, they knew that it wasn't something that was strange or bizarre. They understood that they were talking about something that was very special to God. Yeah. If we bring up some of the other instances in the Bible where he mentions peculiar, where the word peculiar is used, if we go to Exodus 19:5, and you know what? Let me first read this passage. I apologize. I should have read this first. Let's read 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. And I'm actually going to go down to verse 12. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of God, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. Dearly beloved, I beseech you, as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust, which war against the soul, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may, by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify God in the day of visitation. So in Exodus 19:5, it says, Now therefore, if we obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me, above all people, for all the earth is mine. Of course, here he's talking to the nation of Israel. Moses just came down from the mountain, and this was what God had said, I'm going to make a covenant with you folks. And all the people said, yes, we will do all this. They didn't do real well at that. Yeah. And in Deuteronomy 14:2, God told Israel, For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth. Again, he's talking to the nation of Israel. Israel is God's chosen people. So he's saying, I'm setting you apart. You are something special to me. You are my prized possession.
Amen.
In Psalm 135, verse 4, it says, For the Lord hath chosen Jacob unto himself, and Israel for his peculiar treasure. Again, we're not talking something bizarre. We're not talking something strange. We're talking something that God so prizes that he's pulling this person, this nation out.
That's good.
And finally, we're going to come to 1 Peter 2, verse 9, where God declared what I had just read, that we are a chosen generation.
That's right.
We are a royal priesthood. We're a holy nation, a peculiar people. Now he's talking to us.
Amen.
He is talking to you, everyone here who is a believer. He's talking to each one of us. That ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Think about where you were when God called you. I know I wasn't living in the light, and I'm sure everyone here can say the same thing. He pulled us out of darkness. He chose us, and he made us a peculiar people.
Right. Yeah.
You know, we are peculiar. We are special to God. We are his chosen generation. We are a royal priesthood. We're a holy nation, and we've been called out of that darkness into his marvelous light. Now, you see, a long time ago, and I'm thinking it probably happened shortly after the first century church started, Satan started a lie. He started spreading a lie. It said, well, to live the Christian life, you're separated the sacred and the secular. So when you go into church and you say all the right things, you do all the right things, you sing all the right songs, you say the right prayers, but as soon as you leave here and you get into that car out there, you put that behind. Now you get into that secular mode. Now you can be normal according to the world. Is that true of us? Of course not. I pray that it's not.
Yeah, amen.
I want to take you back to 1 Peter, and let's look at chapter 2, verses 11 and 12. And it says, "Dearly beloved, I beseech you, as strangers and pilgrims," that's what we are. This is not our world.
Amen.
We are strangers and pilgrims, "to abstain from fleshly lust, which war against this soul, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify God in the day of visitation." I want to share that I have worked in the secular world for my entire life, and I worked in some very evil places. I don't know how many of you have ever worked in a commercial kitchen, but it can be an evil, evil place. When I would come in and people would know and I would share that I am a Christian and I am a believer, I can guarantee you, and I know for a fact, that every eye was on me. They wanted to see how I reacted when things got hot, when troubles came. Was I going to be like the rest of them, and was I going to curse? Was I going to throw things? Was I going to get angry at people? So what Peter is saying here is, let your works glorify God. Everybody's going to be watching you. The moment you say, I'm a Christian and I'm a believer, those who are not are going to be watching you. So let your works glorify God. Every place that you go becomes sacred because you are a holy people. You are a peculiar possession of God. Let's live our lives, every single moment of our lives, right to the end, in light of the fact that we are God's private property. We are his prized possession. We are a peculiar people.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you.